Previously, I've talked about what I take when I travel abroad and the equipment I take, and I briefly touched on my palette and my easel. Now since then I've had a few questions about my palette. The one I do use is it's an open box M. They come in, I think it's 4 different sizes. Unfortunately they're only available in America. This particular one is the 11 by 14 inch size, which I find is quite useful because it will take up to a 19.5 inch canvas. Now, how does it fit onto the easel? This particular one, it's got a screw thread in the back onto which there's a plate there. Now that plate then fits onto a traditional camera fitting. The tripod I've got is, this particular one is a Velbon. Now it is heavy, but it's very stable, and also when you're out and about you can click the legs so that they go wider, so if it's really windy you can splay the legs out. Also it keeps the interested public away because they're frightened of tripping over the legs. So that's the easel. But the cameras thing you buy separately. You can buy them off an auction site or you can get them from a camera shop. So this is the fitting at the top, and I think you can see this. That just clicks on, no it doesn't. Clicks on, and that is stable. And because it's on a adjustable one, I can tip it forwards and back. If you had no camera thing, you would find that you would have to only work flat with it, but that's quite adjustable like that. Now that is on a tripod. Now if you haven't got one of these, and they, as I say, they're only available in America, but they are shipping. But if you do decide to buy one, they are shipping to the UK again. They are expensive. That particular size is approximately £180, but don't forget you've got to think about the shipping costs. And also when I bought my first one, I had to pay tax on it as well, which I hadn't sort of factored in, so it works out quite expensive. So what I suggest, that particular one, I put a plea out on a particular social media channel and said, had anybody got one that I could buy? And I was very lucky that an artist friend said, yes, you can buy that off me. So what I'm going to say is, if anybody out there has got one that they would like to sell, if you get in touch with me with your details and how much you want for it, and anybody that wants one, I can perhaps put you in touch with each other. So that might be quite useful. But what you can do, if you haven't got, or you don't want one of those, you can actually adapt one that you've already got. Now this particular one, I bought this, let me see this, I bought this from the SAA, and it's just, its limitations are that you can not work particularly large with it. So that clips off, that slides out. But what you can do to adapt it is, because it doesn't come with a screw hole, you can buy this plate, which I have screwed onto the back of the easel. Now if you do this, put it to the back because you want to get the balance right so that the weight is sitting there. So that will then take your camera, this is just a rigid one, so the plate, one bit screws, take my word for this, I think, there we go, that bit screws then onto that plate, and this piece will screw onto your camera easel, and they then lock together. That works quite well. There is another way you can work with the easel. This particular tripod, this is a very lightweight one. It's made by Royal Land Nickel. It's a little bit wobbly, but if you're trying it out and you're not sure how much you want to invest, it's quite worth a go. So what I've done with this, as it's adjustable, I've laid it flat, and then with my this is my smaller open end box. You can just sit that on the top and push that in just there, and it will lock on. So that is locked on to your easel. And the same, it will also work. It will also work if you've got a metal easel, one of these. But the thing to remember is to have the weight of the palette central. Now, the downside of this is, okay, it's fine having that there, but you've got this sticking out. Before I bought my Open M, I adapted one of these easels and I cut that piece off so that I wasn't poking people, because unless you hang a flag at the other end, people aren't going to see it. But that works well as well, so you can lock your palette onto one of those. So I hope that's answered a few questions for you. And if you've got any more questions, just get in touch with me and I'll be more than happy to answer them for you.